Chris here from Focuz-Fit. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to be doing any HIIT exercise, any strength, any circuit training. We're going to be going through some mobility and stretching exercise that you can use every single day. Okay? These are going to help improve your strength, your core strength, your stability, also your mobility as well, especially in the hips and the ankles. So let's get into it. So we're going to start a little bit of space in front of us. We're going to walk our hands out in front into this high plank position and push the hips right the way through. From there, we want to roll our shoulders up. I'm onto my toes, hips all the way up, and I'm going to end in the downward dog position. And back forward, again, rolling the top of the back, push the hips through. And back into downward dog. With all these stretches and movements, you can hold them for as long as you need to. So don't feel like you've got to just do what I'm doing. You can hold it for less time, you can hold it for more time, just depends on how you feel in the different stretches. And one more time, back into downward dog, all the way up. Okay, from there, what you're going to do, you're going to take one foot and step it forward. So as you can see here, it's on line with my shoulders, if you can. Okay, if you can get it to about here, that should be okay. Try and really push it forward so you're feeling this stretch in the hip flexors, just there. Okay, you're going to really push the hips through. As you can see, this back leg is nice and straight, the knee isn't on the floor, it's up, it's extended. I'm going to hold that position 5-10 seconds or so. Okay, from there what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the arm that's closest to the leg, I'm going to bend it, okay? I want to see how close I can get the forearm to the floor. This is your starting point. And what you're going to do, you're going to rotate, extend the arm round, right the way up, and come back in, okay? So I'm rotating through the spine, all the way in. I'm going to do 5 on each side of this. That's 3, 4, and the last one, all the way up, extend, and bring the hand back to there. Now all you're going to do, take this leg back into your high plank position, swap sides, bring the foot up to shoulder level. Again, nice deep stretch. Again, that knee is not on the floor, it's up. Nice stretch in the hip flexor. And we're going to go into those rotations now. So again, bend this arm, see how close you can get the forearm to the floor at your starting point. Rotate out. That's 1. In. 2 more. And last one, all the way up, okay? Step that leg back, drop the hips, right the way down, relax the legs, so I'm pointing the toes, and hold this nice tight stretch again in the hip flexors. From here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my head one way. I'm still pushing the hips into the ground. Turn the head one way, and I'm trying to look behind me. So this will extend the opposite hip flexor. Back to the middle, reset yourself, and to the other side. Okay, back to the middle. Now you're going to extend right the way back. You're going to try and sit either onto your feet or in between your feet. Keep them arms where they were. Shoulders right the way down to the floor. Stretch the back. I'm really trying to sit into it, not from the hips out. Okay, now we're going to put the bottom of our feet together and we're going to open the knees a little bit wider than what we were on the last pose, and we're going to push the hips forward into a frog pose. Again, you should feel those hips open up massively off this one. Try and keep the feet nice and tight together, open the knees as wide as you can, and push them hips through. Okay, sitting back down. Now, you should feel the hips start to open up on that one. So what we're going to do from there, we're going to go into some of the hip stretches, some of the hip mobility as well. Okay, so all you're going to do, you're going to come back into this high plank position, like we were in the last one when we stepped forward. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to pike up, I'm going to bring one leg through, push it through, and I'm going to slowly sit down into the pigeon pose. You should feel this in your glutes and your hips. Try and keep the back nice and straight. Okay, and try and sit right the way down. So I'm not rolling over to the side, trying to stay nice and neutral, nice and straight, and pushing that hip down. Okay, dig the toes in on the rear leg, pushing up. Foot back, bring the other leg through. Again, sit down on that hip. Right there, should feel it, right in the side. And just hold until you feel a bit of a release. Where all that tension is, where you're feeling stiff, where it feels tight. Hold it down, don't give it too much stick, but you can give it a little bit of pressure, just to help with the stretch. Okay, now the next movements we're going to go into really help with mobility. They are a little bit advanced, so if it's something you don't feel like you can do or you don't want to try just yet, go over some of the other stretches that we've just done and then carry back on after we went into these next couple of mobility movements as well. Okay, so from here, hands on the floor. All you're going to do, dig that back leg in, straighten it out, bring the leg back into the high plank. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to pike up to bring in the hips nice and high as if you're going into a downward dog position. You're going to bring one leg and extend it up. Okay, so you're going to extend up, and whatever leg you extend up, you are going to turn and rotate to the opposite side. Okay, and land nice and slowly down into our crab position. Okay. Again, every movement I'm doing it nice and controlled, nice and steady. I'm not just falling, I'm not just throwing the body over. Nice and controlled. Now from here, I take my right arm to my left leg, my right leg, sorry, is the one that went over. I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to come from the central, I'm going to drive the glutes up, I'm going to stretch right the way over into this crab stretch. I'm going to come back down to the middle, arms down, and then because my right leg was the one that kicked over, I'm going to take my right leg again. It's going to go under the leg, right the way round, back to the beginning again. So I'll show on for the other leg from this angle. So now you should be in this position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive the hips back up into that downward dog-like shape. Get the nice stretch in the calves. I'm going to take my left leg this time, drive it up in the air, feel that stretch, and then I'm going to start to rotate and lower nice and softly. Okay, from there, because that was my left leg, I then take my left arm off the ground, starting in the middle, I arch up and over, and try and look and point right the way down to the floor on the opposite arm. Hold that stretch, bit intense this one, and all the way back down. Again, because I'm on my left hand side, take the left leg, kick it underneath the right, and back into your beast position. Okay? Right, there were a couple of mobility drills. Now we're going to finish up by stretching some of the hips, and then we will finish off with some ankle stretching as well. So, what I want you to do this time, so those who didn't join in with some of them mobility movements, you should be able to join in with these ones now. These are just going to be some stretching and a little bit of mobility for the hips as well. So what I want you to do, I want you to sit in a 90-90 position. So I've got a 90-degree angle here, the knees on the floor, and a 90-degree angle with this opposite leg. Okay, so one's externally rotated, one's internally rotated on the hips. Okay, now all I'm going to do, I'm going to turn and face my right leg. Okay, I'm going to put one hand on the knee, I'm going to push down just so slightly, try and keep it flat on the floor, and I'm going to try and bring my chest, whilst keeping these ones, down towards that knee. So don't let it get drawn towards the ankle, bring it down towards the knee. Hold that out, keep it going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just slowly bring yourself back up. Now what you're going to do, you're going to keep that leg flat, and you're going to use your internally rotated leg. You're going to start to open it up as much as you can, forcing this leg to stay down, so you should really feel this in the hips. You might start to cramp up as well, but that's fine. Keep pushing, and when you get to the point where your leg starts to come up, let it just fold over. Again, keep that stretch going all the way. Keep it going until you get to the 90-90 position on the opposite side. Now again, give it a little bit of pressure just to keep that knee flat if you need to. And then I'm going to lower my chest towards this knee rather than letting it fall down towards the ankle. So I'm going to turn into it, really push that hip down. Again, keeping this flat, this knee on the ground. And I'm turning into the hip to really stretch those muscles out. Keep holding. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up we come again. Okay, now, same again like we did on the other one. I'm going to open this hip out to the internally rotated hip. I'm going to open it out. Feel that stretch all the way, keep it going. Back to the 90-90 position on the other side. Okay? Now, from there, I'm just going to bring the feet back up into this neutral position. Now, the next couple are going to be another couple of stretches for the hips, and then we're going to finish with one more for the ankle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend one leg. From there, I'm going to take the other leg, and I'm going to place the ankle just above the knee. Okay? Now, what I might do, just to feel this stretch a little bit more, slight push down on the knee here. I'm not pushing down so I'm hurting myself, just a little slight push, just so I feel a stretch, just so I know where I should be feeling it. Just in the hip, maybe in the glutes a little bit as well. Give it a bit of a push. Now from here, I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to place them behind me. Okay? This way I'm opening up the chest. I'm externally rotating, so my hands face the opposite way. So instead of coming in here, I'm facing the wall behind me. And what I'm going to do, this straight leg, I'm going to bend up towards my bum. Okay? So now I've got this nice 90-degree angle on this leg and a nice 90-degree angle on this leg. Okay? Now to benefit a little bit more from this stretch, to stretch your chest and shoulders out, lift your bum up and bring it closer towards that foot. So if I just show you from here, I'm in this position to start with. If I bring the bum up and just push it ever so slightly towards the heel again, I should feel this in the shoulders and the delts and in the chest a little bit as well, especially if you tighten them areas. So just hold this out, chill out, hold it for about 10-15 seconds, really good one for your hips. Now, from here, all you're going to do, come back to that neutral position, sorry, and then from here, I'm not going to change my leg position, I'm just going to sit my foot over so that it's on the floor. That's all I'm doing. Now, from here, I'm going to take my opposite arm. So this is my right leg. I'm going to take my left arm. I'm going to give this right leg a little bit of a hug. Okay, give it a little bit of a hug. Turn towards that leg. Again, you'll feel this in the glutes, in the hips. And just stretch it out. Again, this is another really good stretch. You can hold this for as long as you need. Okay, now to come out of this stretch, all you're going to do, hands back down, you're going to come into this stretch. Once again, you're going to extend the leg, and then you're just going to lift that leg off. Okay, now we'll do it on the other side. So starting from here, that was my right hip and my right leg is stretched out, so I'm going to do it on the left leg this time. Bring the leg up, ankle just above the knee again. Again, on this stretch, you might realise one leg is a lot more flexible than the other one, or one might feel a bit tighter than the other. That's completely normal, that's completely fine. And you might just need to hold that stretch a little bit longer so we can try and get that balance back in the hips. So all I'm going to do, again, a little bit of a push, not too much because you don't want to hurt yourself, just so you know where you should be feeling the stretch. Arms externally rotated, again, my fingers are pointing that way, not towards me, they're pointing away from me. I'm going to bring this straight leg up, so I've got that 90-degree angle or so, and just chill out in that position. Again, if you are tight in the shoulders and chest, bring that bum a little bit closer, keep the hands where they were, and stretch it out. Okay, now from there, just like we did on the last one, the foot that is up here, so this is my left foot, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to fall over to one side, so that's nice and flat on the floor, that stays in the same position. Now I'm going to take my right arm, come across to my left leg, and I'm just going to hug it out, again, stretch it out. Some of you guys might be a little bit more flexible, you can try and get your elbow on the opposite side, get a bit of a stretch on the lower back as well. I personally like to focus more on the hips on this one. Just give it a bit of a squeeze, make sure I'm feeling it in the right area. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Then again, to come out of it, arms back down, into this position, straighten the leg, and just take that foot off. Okay, now we're going to finish with a bit of ankle mobility and some calf stretching, okay? These ones are really good, especially if you're running or you feel like you've got a lot of tight calves, but very easy, very simple to do. Again, you hold this for as long as you feel you need to. One calf might be tighter than the other, so you might want to hold it a little bit more on that one, and then we are finished. So, I'm going to start on my right leg. All I'm going to do, I'm going to put the foot out next to me, okay, so it's pointing away from me. This leg doesn't really matter what you're going to do, that can sit down, you can do what you want with it. But what you're going to do is you're going to keep your heel on the floor, that's the aim of the game, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on my knee and try and get the knee to go over my second and third toe. So I'm pushing down. As soon as I feel like that heel's coming up, I know I've went too far. So I want to feel the calf stretch here, the heel on the floor, and just give it a bit of stick on there. Not too much again, we don't want to hurt ourselves. But this second leg doesn't really matter what it's doing, because we're focusing on the one we're stretching. Okay, good. Now all I'm going to do from there, just relax. And then I'm going to go back into the same one again. So I've come out of it, back into it. One more time, come back out, and back in. Now this time, what I want you to try and do is I want you to push over with it, but I want you to try and lift your toes off the floor, okay? So you should feel this maybe cramping up in the front of your shin. Okay, but we're trying to actively stretch that muscle now. Rather than us pushing down, we're trying to actively stretch it. So keeping the heel flat, try and lift the toes, and really push there. Okay, you won't be able to lift your toes, that's completely normal, but we're just trying to activate those muscles to get that stretch on the calf and increase the mobility within the ankle. Okay, and back out. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So again, foot out to the side. You can do this in front of you. I prefer to do it out to the side. Just I feel like you get a better stretch in the calf. Again, this rear leg doesn't really matter what it's doing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of stick on this one. Again, keep the heel nice and flat. Try and get the knee to go over the second and third toe. Now I know personally this calf for me isn't as flexible as the other one. So when I'm doing it, I like to hold it for an extra couple of seconds. Just really trying to improve the mobility in the ankle and the stretch on the calf as well. So make sure, keeping the heel flat, we're pushing down on the knee, and we're really feeling that stretch. Okay, back out, and back into it again. Try and get a little bit further with the knee every single time. You want to try and get the knee over the toes if you can. This will improve any squat motion as well, which is very, very beneficial, especially if you need to go in the gym, lifting weights, that type of stuff. Okay, and last go. Remember, on this third go, I want you to try and lift the toes off the floor. You shouldn't be able to, but that's fine, but we're trying to actively trigger that muscle to stretch and improve the flexibility all around. So I'm pushing down ever so slightly, trying to lift them toes up. Okay, and back out. Now, I'm going to finish with a little bit of mobility work on the ankle. Very easy, very quick, and then we are done. So, all I'm going to do, I'm going to put the feet out in front of me, sitting nice and neutral. I'm going to use my right leg first, so I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to put my left arm underneath the knee. Okay? And I'm going to clamp it down. Now I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to put it just above the ankle on the shin. Okay? Because now we're going to focus solely on the ankle. We don't want the rest of the leg or the hips to get involved that much. So this is just making sure we're isolating that ankle. So leg under, clamp it in, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 nice controlled circles one way with my ankle. I'm not going fast, nice and slow and controlled. That's 2 and 3, and then I'm going to go back the other way. I'm going to do 3 this way. Again, you can do more of this if your ankle's a little bit tight, a little bit sore, you've done a workout the day before, that's fine. You do what you need to do. Okay, and then again, just release one arm, straighten the leg out. This time, left leg, so I'm going to put my right arm underneath the leg. Left hand just comes just above the ankle on the shin bone. Clamp it nice and tight. I'm going to do 3 nice control, big circles with the ankle. 2 and 3. I'm going to go back the other way. 1, 2 and 3. Good. Okay guys, that's my daily mobility drill. It's really helped me improve, especially with running at the moment. My hip flexibility, my calf flexibility has massively improved. So let me know how you find it, if it does benefit you, anything else you want to see, and I will see you on the next Warriors Home workout. Peace!